As always, just please understand that any advice in today's session is of a general nature only and that your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration. Okay? All right, so let us get started and let's have a look at what we have this week. We'll review what's happened. We'll see if we can find some trades and we'll try and see if we can position ourselves for the week that is to come. All right. Now, this particular week is it's a lighter week in terms of data. There's not as much as we are typically accustomed to, so it's a little bit more on the quiet side. And I guess the highlights and things that we should talk about today is that the market's taken a little bit of a turn in terms of its attitude towards what's basically happening. Last week, US retail sales disappointed, even though the job numbers were on the money or there or thereabouts of what they were expecting, but the retail sales disappointed the market and the US dollar lost strength against a lot of the major currency pairs. On top of that, what's basically happening now, the sentiment of what the Federal Reserve may or may not do, the year is running out. They did say way back, I think as early as March and April of the year, that they felt that interest rates were going to start to rise. Nothing has come to fruition at this point so far, and investors are starting to give up hope of that interest rate decision becoming a reality. So what's actually starting to happen is we're starting to see a lot of long-term money start to come out of the market. So essentially all those pro-dollar investors, fund managers, etc., type of people who interact with the market, they're starting to close out their positions, which is adding to the US dollar weakness. All right. So at the moment, the sentiment has definitely changed flavor, and they're now talking about a possible March of 2016 where interest rates decision may finally start to rise. Now, should all of a sudden in the coming months or coming weeks something drastically should happen and they should take actual action, we will see a sharp movement of money moving pro US dollar. All right, so that's what's been happening. It's no secret. We've been monitoring it for a long time. The only difference now is that all of a sudden investors are starting to come to the realization that perhaps this is not the best trade to be in and that they're looking to find other opportunities, so they're closing out their positions, further weakening the US dollar. All right. Now, in terms of what we have this week, there's pretty much not many things happening on the US front. China numbers already came out today, though the industrial production number was a little bit lower than expected, and we saw a little bit of a spike on the Aussie dollar. We'll have a look at that when I move over to my charts. But I think this week, what is on the main agenda definitely is the euro. Okay, so we've got a lot of euro data coming out. So we've got PMI numbers for the German and French PMI figures, which are very important. And we got the press conference as well as the bid rate decision, which nobody really expects it to be any different, but nevertheless, these are the important details that are coming out. I believe that this week, purely based on data, the currency that we're going to have to keep under the spotlight is going to be the Euro USD. All right. For the Aussie front, there's not much. China data already came out. On the US side of the equation, we've got building permit numbers and possibly the unemployment claim number on Thursday is the ones that's going to trigger the market mostly, but I believe that the Euro USD is the one that's going to be affected the most this week by data. Okay, all right, so it's pretty light on the fundamentals, so let me get my charts. Let's move along and let's see what we can actually see for today. All right, Aussie dollar. Let me just check my notes. My computer crashed basically just before I launched, and all the markings that I had on my charts have disappeared, but I was tracking something. Just give me one moment. Okay, There we go. So first of all, we spoke a little bit about this trade that we had on last week, that we placed the 8 consecutive days in a row and we took a short. Basically, the market came down for us, enabled us to hit our targets, and that was the trade that we took last week. What I can see right now is the following. If I zoom into a 4-hour chart, can anybody start to see this pattern already? Part of pattern trading and trying to apply price action principles involves that we need to muck around and play with our charts a little bit and get accustomed to looking at different time frames so that we can actually see what's taking place. Can everybody see the pattern that I've just found for us? Can I just get a confirmation? Okay, so I'm on a 4-hour time frame. I've just upgraded my drawing tool and to be honest, it looks really, really funny to me. I'm still getting to grips with it, so apologies, I'm not driving it the way that I usually do. Okay, so on a 4-hour chart, definitely nice converging triangle. Clues to ways to see this on that zigzag indicator that I like to have. You can see that my tops are getting lower and my bottoms are getting higher. Very straightforward. Can everybody see the trade? Who can call out the trade that I'm eyeing off? Zoom in a little bit more so we can make it a little bit more obvious. I've virtually got yes, there is a price action trade. Thank you very much. We've virtually got a setup ready to go there. I just got to wait for this candle to finish. When this candle finishes, the current one right now, and I believe it's in 20 minutes, this candle will finish. When this candle finishes, if it finishes exactly like it is right now, it'll give me an engulfing candle, okay, which basically means at the open of the very next candle, I can take a trade in that direction. The only thing that I need to be concerned about is if there's going to be enough room for me to take my profit out of my trade, bearing in mind that I've got this ceiling. Now, of course, this can go right through that, but we have to have an assumption that it could possibly act as our resistance point. So I'd like to take my profit in between that area there. If I do not have enough room for it, well then I'll walk away from the trade. So if I was to size it up right now, just for the exercise so that everybody knows what we're looking at, my stop on this trade would be below here. Let's say if my entry was there, that's the risk distance that I'm risking. So therefore, I at least want to have that much forward, which I do, and I have a bit more. So it means I've got around about 1.5 to 1 ratio available before as I approach that area. If it finishes where we are right now. Does everybody agree on those numbers? Okay. Of course, we're going to, if it does move forward and we get to the 1-to-1, this is your action point right there, where you may or may not do something, but it's the point at which you need to consider the situation on the trade. All right, I can't place this trade right now because I need to wait for this candle. And one of the nice things about price action, this is a really good example because we're going to get to make a decision live during the class. But the most important part about this is sometimes we get a bit edgy and a bit nervous about placing the trade, and we don't want to miss out. We enter the trade, and let's just say that we have a scenario where basically this candle ends up coming down and it becomes a big red candle like this, and you're left with a trade over here going that way, thinking, why am I in this trade? And you're all of a sudden in a totally incorrect trade. That's why you need to wait for this candle to finish, see what it shows us, and then we're relying on the fact that we have this nice solid line acting as a reference point, as a support level for us. So we know that we are applying our price action principles in the correct zone of the chart. Okay, so that's what I've got for Aussie dollar. So I'm going to come back to this one after 4 o'clock, and let's see what that candle looks like, and let's see if we can actually place a trade. Let's move on. Euro USD. Okay, like I said, I lost all the markings on my charts. Give me one moment. I just need to mark a couple of things out. Okay, Euro USD. At the moment, we've had this daily channel running, and we really haven't had an opportunity to get a trade out of it as yet. Okay, so I still don't have an opportunity. The only thing that I can see on this particular chart right now is I will show it to you. I don't think it's the best reason for a trade, but I will show it anyway so that everybody can see and understand what I'm talking about. There is a little bit of divergence. We're kind of a little bit late on it. If we concentrate and look at that top compared to that top, we can see that we are running slightly in an upward direction. And then if I drop down like a vertical line, I get this top here on my MACD, and we come down here and I get this top here. You can see that this one's almost horizontal or slightly going down. Divergence is when they start to drift apart. So I can't see an example here, but basically when this one starts to go up and this one starts to go down, or at least this one is flat as such. So there is a little bit of divergence. However, the trade has already kind of moved away for us. So it's nothing that we can take action on right now. However, I did want to show it to you so that you know exactly what I am talking about. Okay, there is one other thing on this chart which we'll have a look at right now. You can see it here a little bit, probably on a 1 hour chart you can see it a little bit better. Can everybody see what I am referring to? Who can see what I want to show you? Anybody want to take a guess at it? Question, was it a body engulfing on the fractal candle on the daily chart? I'll have a look at that in one moment, Romy. Can anybody see the pattern that I'm looking at right now? Anybody want to take a guess at it? No? Okay, let me help you out. This is one of the, whenever you, this is the pattern that most people talk about, that don't know anything about trading. They go, oh, I do trading. Oh, yes, you do. And somebody's guessed it already. Sanika's got it. Oh, that's a head and shoulder pattern. So the pattern is, if you can see it, let me try it. There's the shoulder. There's the head. And here's the second shoulder there. So the way that we would trade it is we've got to draw a line across here, and when we break it, that's how you trade the head and shoulder pattern. Okay, can everybody see the pattern right there? This is a classic. It's not the smoothest, but it's still a legitimate head and shoulder pattern. This is on a 1 hour time frame. If you were to take this trade, you will still be inside the channel that we're tracking, and I believe you'll be in, there's enough room for us to hit. See, there's the line there, so there's plenty of room if you wanted to trade it. So basically you're trading a breakdown there. There's that line that you would have to consider as your next level of significance, that there may be some support at that level. All right. Now, I don't normally trade head and shoulder patterns, so I'm not going to trade this one, but I just wanted to show it to you. Let's go back to the daily. The Euro USD this week is going to be the one that we've already agreed on has got the most data coming out. At the moment, I can't see a clear one of those clear-cut entries into this particular chart, the kind that you see and you go, oh, that's nice, I like that, I want to trade that. I can't see that right now, so I'm going to have to sit this one out again. So that's like 3 weeks in a row that I cannot take a trade on the Euro USD. Is anybody triggered Euro USD on a T chaser? If there's any T chaser traders out there, can you just give me a yes? Is anybody, Alan? Are you in? Alan, you're in this trade long? Anybody else? Yes, he is. Okay. There was a trigger on this one. I think it was off this candle where my little arrow is right now. I haven't covered the T-Chaser for a little while, so I don't know if it's the next one on my list, but we're coming up to it again. So if anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, don't panic. It's a strategy that I will cover probably over the next coming weeks, if not this week, after I check what my schedule and my roster is. Okay, all right. Well, look, if you are in it, it's there's a lot of room on the upside. The US is falling off, so it may just be a really, really nice trade, but I can't find the price action entry right now. So Euro USD this week, let's leave it alone. Let's move on. GBP USD. Okay, GBP USD. Last week I sent out the trade via Twitter. What we traded was these two candles right here. Okay, it was an inside candle on the way down. We hit our target, or at least we hit better than 1-to-1 ratio with this big red candle, and the market has gone back up to the other side. Okay, so depending what your action point was at 1-to-1, at worst case you would have broken even. I think on my trade I took out 110. I had an 85 stop against 110, and it hit. What I can see now is, look at this, 1, 2, and 3. Now, let me just zoom out a little bit. Let's have a better look. There's the possibility that there's a little bit of divergence there as well. Okay, let me zoom in and I'll show it to you. On the MACD, if I join these tops like this, so concentrate on this yellow line that I'm drawing in. Okay, now if this starts to go down a little bit, what's going to happen is this one's going to start to come down a little bit, which will leave for me that imprint. And if I then, oh, that's not a very good color. If I then join that top with that top, we can clearly see that it's pointing downwards. And then if I join that top with that top, clearly see it's pointing slightly upwards. That is clear divergence. Okay. So for those of you who don't know divergence, don't panic. I'll cover it soon as well. It's part of the rotation strategies that I have a look at, and I haven't done it for a while, so maybe it might be a good idea. I might do that this Thursday. I'll do a bit of pattern trading and divergence, concentrate on divergence. So there's definitely divergence on this particular chart. Now, what I also like about this trade is that we've got a solid line, and I'm on a third touch, and I've got an opportunity of price action. Look at this, guys. What do we got there? What's that? It's a really nice inside candle. Can we see we got an inside candle there? And on top of that, it's actually already broken the bottom. And if you get in the trade now, you're actually getting in at a slightly better price. So let's put it out to the room. Who likes the trade? I've got two reasons to take this trade. There is a little bit of if the trade comes down, the divergence will be confirmed. Okay, so there's a little bit of divergence. The divergence is just about to be confirmed. Give me 1 second. Let me just change this MACD and let me put on an awesome oscillator. Give me 1 second. Okay. As soon as this one goes red, the next one, if it changes to red, that will be the confirmation of the divergence. Okay, I believe this pops down a little bit, this will go red straight away. So the divergence is almost there, but the triple top is definitely there. The price action is there. Who wants to take the trade? Can I just get let's vote on it. Everybody must either say yes or no. Let's have a look. So I've got 1, 2, 3. No one said no so far. Everybody's yes. Okay, let's go for it. Unanimous. Here we go. Let me just double check that I'm in the correct account. So this account's starting to move nicely as well, guys. I don't know if anybody checks my balance here. This is the one that I always use on Mondays. So let's go. My stop is going to be 70, let's make it 80 pips. And remember, size your trade so that your 80 pips is worth whatever it is that you want it to be worth. Okay, so right click, I'm going to go in at 0.1. And let me just put any stop right now. It's about 55.20. I'll adjust it in 1 moment. And we are sellers. Here we go. We're in. Okay, let me just adjust my stop. I'm just going to drop into a 4-hour time frame so I can see it a bit better. Okay, I'm there or thereabouts. Okay, so I'm happy with the stop is. Let's make the target. We got to go for 2 to 1, so let's go for 160. And don't forget to do something at your 1 to 1 point, okay, guys? Okay, does that look right? Okay, that'll do me. All right, I'll give you the numbers. This is the numbers that I got. My stop, I've got it set at 55.20, and my target is at 52.91. Everybody got that? My stop is at 55.20, and my target is at 52.91. All right, I'm in. My action point will be around about 53.63. Okay, around about there. Okay, we're in GBP USD. Let's move on. Gold. Okay, is anybody still in this trade? We spoke about this one on Thursday when we did our class on psychology. We used it as a really good example of chickening out of the trade, that I left the trade way too early. But I just want to know if there's anybody that's still in this trade. All right. If there isn't, that means we've got to start again fresh and let's see what we can find. All right. I don't think there's anybody still in this trade. What I can see in gold is the following. All right. Let me get rid of this line now. That triangle breakout has happened. And let me get rid of this one. Can everybody see that channel? Yep. We're all good? Okay, and on top of that, have a look at what's happening right now. It's actually a good day today. There's a couple of things. What have we got right there? Inside candle at the border of a channel. This is one of those ones that you just go eyes closed. Hey, that's exactly what I like to look for. I'm in this trade. It's already triggered. It's broken down. So if you get in, it's a little bit, you've missed out on a little bit of profit already. So the questions that you need to ask yourself are the following. First of all, just remember this is gold, which basically means gold you have to trade a little bit bigger than if you trade in micros, you cannot trade gold because gold cannot trade at micros. Okay, so that's the first thing. If you're not willing to trade at a little bit bigger, just watch and don't do anything, or maybe take this one on demo mode. Second part is we're already triggered down. Do you want to jump in at market right now, or do we want to try and put in a pending order? If we get triggered in our pending order, great. If not, well then we're just walking away from the trade. So to soften the blow, what I might do is, I hope I get triggered though, I'm going to try and get in around about this level there. Okay, so what I'm hoping is that this pulls up, hits me, and then shoots in a downward direction. So let me just measure this out. I'm going to place a pending order roughly where I've just drawn that line. That's my game plan for gold. Okay, is everybody clear? Does everybody, if it wasn't gold and it was just a currency, would everybody be happy to trade this one? For sure. Okay, great. That's good. So everybody understands that it's a genuine pattern. Okay, it's one of the ones that we like best. So because of that, I'm going to try and trade it. All right. The only problem is it's just triggered, so I'm a little bit off the money, and I don't want to get my psychology all messed up. So I'm going to try and get in with a pending order. Okay, here we go. Let's do it. So I'm going to try and get in there, exactly where I've put my mark. So sell limit, change that to 0.1. My stop I'm going to place at 119.40. Sorry, it wasn't 119, it was 190, 192.40. 192.40. And my target is going to be 11.50. And let's place it. That's about 2 to 1. Can everybody see what we're trying to do here and what I've just done? So basically, I've placed a pending order. I am not live in the market. I need the current price to get up, touch my little green line. At that point, I am a seller. I am short. There's my target, and there is my stop loss. Okay, so let me call out the numbers that I've done. Remember, it is gold, so you need to take appropriate action. What have I done? I'm trying to get in at 1176.79. My stop is 1192.40. My target is 1150. Okay, we all clear? Great. All right, let's move on. That's a really, really good pattern, guys, too. I really like that pattern. US yen. Okay, US yen. Did anybody trade the breakout? It was a really weird one, but there was a breakout there. This candle. Did anybody trade that breakout? Can I just get a show of hands? Who saw it but didn't trade it, and who traded it? Okay. So some people saw it but didn't trade it. Some people know. Okay. All right. So let's have a look at this. There is another trade opportunity setting up right now on this one. Give me one moment. Okay, so we got all this US dollar weakness. We broke down and now it's shot back up. Now it's very close to my 50 SMA, and there's price action setting. There's when we trade breakouts, we can trade the straight. We get that big bull candle, we can take the trade straight away. So if anybody took it, you would be short already. Your stop would be here, so you haven't been stopped out as yet. However, now if somebody wanted to try and find price action on a pullback, there could be a trade in there as well. So let's analyze that. So from what you guys just answered, I don't think anybody's in this trade. So let's have a look at the pullback trade and let's see if we can get something out of that. Let me zoom in. Okay, I want you to look at these candles here and tell me, if I was trading price action, would I be in a trade right now? Yes or no? Okay, I've got 2 yeses, 3. If you don't know, just type in question mark. I've got 1 no, 2 no's, someone doesn't know, 2 people don't know, 3 no's. More people are saying no. Okay. The answer is, if you were trading price action, you would be in a trade right now. Let me show it to you. If we were trading price action, the trend is down, and remember we're trying to find an opportunity to go in as such. If I look at this candle here with a fractal and this candle right next to him, is that or is that not an inside candle? So this one is an inside candle to this one over there. Okay, so it's an inside candle. So therefore we have a setup, and then this candle here breaks the low. Can everybody see that here? We break the low. Question being asked, are they all inside candles? No, they are not. Okay, so let me call that candle 1, and this is candle number 2. Candle number 2 is an inside candle to candle number 1. Okay, it's completely held inside. But if you have a look at the next candle, this red one here, this one is no longer inside. It popped out. All right, it actually popped out right here, and that little bit there is where the trade gets triggered short. All right, so if you were trading price action over here, you would be in the trade right there. Your stop would be right there. Consequently, the market went down and up, and it's coming down again, but we're still in this trade. Does everybody see that trade? And do we all agree that that's what the sequence would have been if we were trading inside candles? Good. It's unanimous. Everybody understands that. So now the question is, who wants to take the trade right now? If you take it right now, you're getting in at a little bit of a better price than over here. Are the conditions still valid? Has something changed? Okay, so that's what we've got to think about. So, all right, so let's put it to a vote, and depending on what the room does, I will take it based on what you guys say. So here we go. Do we go short at market right now based on the fact that we broke out? Let's talk the whole trade through. Let's think about what we're actually doing. We've been trading congestion. We broke down. We got the pullback. We got price action on the pullback. Do we go short right now, or do we let's just walk away from it and look for another trade maybe next week? Okay, so either say yes or say no. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 1 no, 2 no's, 3 no's. Okay, I've got about 13 yeses and 3 no's. Okay, all right, based on that, I'm going to take it. You do whatever you need to do. I believe that the logic is sound. The risk is going to be less than if I took it live. The risk is only about 35 pips. So let's make the risk 40. I'm going to risk 40 pips on this trade, and I'm going in at 0.1. I'm in. Let me place my stops now. 40. And I'm going to go for 80, remembering that 40 is my action point. And there we go. And what I like about this is that my 2 to 1 point happens before we get here. That if this comes down and hits that level there, I have made 2 to 1. Okay? 2 to 1, which is huge. Now, you guys would be noticing that all of my trades, I take them at 0.1, okay? But what you should be doing is you should be adjusting your sizes to your dollar value, okay? So I just do it this way just because it's easier for me. But if you adjust your volume size to the dollar risk, what you'll find is that even if we hit 40% of our trades on Mondays, because we're trying to trade at 2 to 1, we should be still profitable. Okay, so all right, let me call out the numbers. So what have I got? I've got my stop at 119.75.5. 119.75.5, and my target is 118.55.4. 118.55.4. Question, Sanika asked, should I wait for this candle to complete? Okay, in this example, I didn't have to wait for the candle to complete because the way that you trade an inside candle is when you break the low of the inside, which already happened 2 candles ago, Sanika. So if I had been doing the class live with you 2 candles ago, I would have triggered into my pending order would have triggered a trade. The reason I took it live right now is because I would have already been in there and I'm actually at a better price than 2 candles ago. Okay, so that's why I didn't have to wait for the candle. All right, someone's telling me that it's 4 o'clock. Let's go check up on that Aussie trade. Give me one sec. Okay, so US yen is done. Let's go back to the Aussie trade. Okay, so do we have a trade set up? Yes or no? We've got 1 yes, 2, 3, 4. One person saying no fractal. Great point. I'll come back to that. Yes. Okay. The answer is yes. We have a trade setup. Okay. Romy, to the person and anybody else that was thinking there is no fractal, this particular candle setup, these two here, this is an engulfing pattern. Okay. The blue candle is engulfing the red one. Now, there is no fractal here because the fractal will appear once this candle finishes. When this candle finishes, as long as it finishes above this level here, so if this candle finished exactly like it is right now, you will then get your fractal here. Okay? So with inside candles, there's an extra candle in between, so the fractal's already there. So in this one, the fractal is not there yet. However, okay, I don't need the fractal to take the trade. The price action has been set. The price action on this particular trade has been set. All right, meaning I have a valid 1, 2, 3 points. It's a converging triangle. The line that I've drawn, does everybody agree that the lines are good? And therefore I've got an engulfing pattern. So let's take advantage. The good thing about this trade as well is I'm going long Aussie dollar, and I believe I've got a short on the pound. Okay, so they're kind of going to hedge each other a little bit. Now, it's possible for them both to get stopped out. It's also possible for them both to hit their targets. But when I have trades going in against each other, it gives me a nicer feeling. One's on a daily chart, one's on a 4-hour chart. This is a much shorter trade than our GBP USD. The answer is I'm going to take this live right now. And my stop on this one, I'm going to make it, say, 35. Here we go. Again, I'll go in at 0.1. I'm just going to go in at market and come back and place my stops. Let's make this one 35 and let's make 70. Okay, let me call out those numbers. My stop, so I'm a buyer. I got a 72.70 fill. My stop loss is 72.33, 72.33.4, and my target is 73.38.4. Everybody got those numbers? You can see from my chart that my target is kind of getting close to this line, depending where it happens. Okay, so if I find that this is getting to about here and it's getting close, I might get a bit edgy and close it out early. In any case, my 1-to-1 happens about there somewhere. Alright, so that's a trade that I like, obviously, and I've taken it. Alright, so what are we up to? Euro yen. Euro yen. Okay, is anybody still in this Euro yen trade? And if you are, you would be long. Can I just get a show of hands if anybody's in this trade? If you're not in it, you just don't respond. Okay, I don't think anybody's in this trade. So let me adjust a couple of things. Hamid is in this trade. Someone got stopped out. If you were in this trade, you got stopped out off a 4-hour chart. Give me one sec. Should you have been stopped out? Okay. If you got stopped out, that means you've moved your stop. Because your stop should have been here, which is, we can see that the market didn't come that low. Okay. So unless you bumped it along or something like that. Okay, someone's in this trade short. Okay, all right, so let's analyze what I got. This is what I got for this one. Okay, pattern trading is about constantly moving your lines around, fitting it in, and trying to find something. Okay, so this is what I can see. I can see that the euro yen is squeezing. It's squeezing. It's getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. We're running out of room. So something is going to give. We're going to have to move away very, very soon. So this is one to look out for. Now, if you're going to trade this one, make sure you wait for a nice bear candle or a nice bull candle to give you the entry into the chart. So in other words, I'm looking for a candle like that before I go that way, or I'm looking for a candle like this before I go in that direction. I don't care which one, but I don't want a candle that has this big wick on it on that side. All right. Is everybody clear on that? I want a really nice bull candle or a really nice bear candle. If I get it, well then great. If I don't, well then I'll just keep waiting. All right, and I'll look for something else. There's plenty of trades that we've been able to take this week, so I'm not too fussed about it. That's all that I have for you on the Euro Yen. So let's see if this one pops out. I'm on a daily chart, so if this one pops out, I will send it via Twitter. Okay, so just make sure that you check that. All right, Kiwi Dollar. Kiwi Dollar. The Kiwi Dollar almost gave us the setup that we were looking for around about here, but we never got a setup, so we didn't take anything. So there's no harm done. It tried to pull back off that memory, but then it shot straight through. We had no trades on that in any case. That didn't affect us. So let me get rid of this. And let's get rid of this as well and see what we can have, what we've got. I don't really have anything for Kiwi Dollar. I need it to rebound a little bit. The next trade that I can see coming along is a pullback, try to get the price action and take it in that direction. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's the next logical trade based on this chart. All right, because we've cleared all this area. We've made new highs and it feels like it's ready to start to move in the other direction. If it doesn't, there's no harm done. We won't get a setup and we just watch. But that's what I'm looking for to happen next based on this chart. So at the moment, Kiwi Dollar, let's leave it alone. Let's move on to the last one for the week, Euro Aussie. And what do we have? Okay, we drew this line last week, but we didn't get an entry. So this candle here, we didn't get the setup that we were looking for, so that means we've taken no trade. It's come down again. There's no setup again. I would prefer you to leave the Euro Aussie alone. It's just been moving a little bit too much and possibly better to just sit tight on it until it settles into a nicer pattern. Okay, even though I'm right at this border, I'm right on this line, if anything, the big break feels like it's going to be like in this direction. Okay, but Euro Aussie, I'm not going to do anything. I don't like the pattern. It's not good enough to trade, so let's just leave it alone. All right, any questions? Please type your questions in right now while I go back and summarize what we've done. Okay, Aussie dollar, we have taken a buy on the Aussie dollar based on this converging 4-hour triangle. We got in at 72.70. Our stop is 72.33. Our target is 73.38. Euro USD. Euro USD, there is a head and shoulder pattern on a 1 hour, but basically we haven't done anything on the Euro USD. We're not in a range where there is an attractive enough trade on offer. Pound USD, we got a little bit of possible divergence forming on a triple touch of a support or a resistance line, and we got the price action entry. We've taken it, so we are sellers. We got in at 54.39. Our stop is 55.20. Our target is 52.91. Gold. Gold has already triggered as a sell based on this daily channel. We have put in a pending order, trying to get in at 1176.79. We got to stop at 1192.40, target at 1150. Okay, now remember, if you do decide to trade this one, This is the one that's going to move your balance the most because you have to trade larger. It's just the nature, that's just the way gold is. Okay, so if you don't like it, just walk away from that one. US yen, we are currently short US yen. We got in at 119.32. Our stop is at 119.75 and our target is 118.54. Reason for the trade, price action, break out of congestion, pull him back into a price action continuation towards the break side. Okay, so that's the summary. No, sorry, I haven't finished yet. Euro yen, we are getting into a tight trading range. Look out for a break. Kiwi dollar, we need to wait for this chart to settle. Euro Aussie, still not showing anything attractive enough to be able to trade. Okay, so there you have it, guys. That's what we've got. So we've got currently 3 open positions in the market with a pending order on gold. Remember, mark out your 1-to-1 ratio point. All right, and for those of you who aren't very confident with your live trading as yet, at the very least, you should be placing some of these trades into a demo account just so that you can monitor them and start to feel the adrenaline, and so that you can basically see. Someone's asking me US yen. We got in, there it is highlighted, 119.32. We're already short with our stop at 119.75.5. Our target 118.55.4. Okay. Any questions? As always, please email me. Just respond to the invitation email that you get to this class. That'll get to me. If you want me to have a look at a chart or anything like that, please send me a screenshot. Make it easier for me. I'll draw on your chart. I'll respond back, and we'll take it from there. And let me dig up what's going to happen on Thursday. We might do a little bit of work on divergence and some of the things that I mentioned. Other than that, hope you all have a good week. Remember, the Euro USD is the hot one based on data. It is a quieter week on that front in any case. Let's see how we go. Hopefully we get some nice trades. Keep an eye on your Twitter so that if anything pops up, if I feel the market is moving, I might tell you to close out a trade before we get to the levels that we stipulated. Okay, other than that, have a great afternoon. I'll see you all on Thursday. Bye for now.